Hi, welcome to the Industry Astrology new moon forecast for April 2024. It's a total solar eclipse. The moon is waning, and on April 8th, between 7:42 a.m. and 1:52 p.m. Pacific time, the moon will pass in front of the sun, block the sun completely for a total solar eclipse. Feeling on edge, the collective tension and real, possibly precarious situations. This is the nature of eclipse seasons. They push the shadow energy to the forefront, forcing us to look at things that may have been kept in the dark or places where we may be in denial about. It also creates sudden kind of upturning and twists of fate. So breakthroughs can happen, but also chaotic events. It's very common to see earthquakes, tsunamis, political unrest, and different kinds of shocking events like the recent terrorist attacks we had in Russia, the earthquake in Taiwan, and the escalation of sudden, more serious seeming problems in the Middle East. This is the longest total solar eclipse that we have experienced on Earth in the last 50 years. And the narrow pathway of the eclipse, the spotlight of the eclipse's shadow, will cross from the west coast of Mexico starting at 11:07 a.m. Pacific time and speed across the continent ending in Newfoundland, Canada, approximately an hour and 35 minutes later. I'm still here in India, but I'm up in the top of a building right now in Kochi in Kerala, very high up. Eclipses are dramatic events, and there are going to be a lot of people out watching the eclipse with their glasses, protective glasses, which is important to wear if you're going to watch one. But in Vedic tradition, it is very inauspicious to go and observe an eclipse. There is a lot of edgy energy, a tendency to bring up negative patterns as well within the shadow of a solar eclipse. The solar eclipse is caused by Rahu, the head of the snake, who is known for his ability to create illusion, confusion, chaos. He is the one who puts on many disguises, and he can often distort our thinking, making clear decision-making very difficult. It's hard to see straight under the light of a solar eclipse. There's a refracting kind of energy that can disturb the manas, as we say, the manas as being the mind and our emotions. And so while this energy is very creative in many ways and powerful and transformative for sure, it's definitely a good time to take things slowly because of the inherent chaos within this energy. Also, simultaneously, we're having a lot of difficult alignments on this eclipse. There is a congregation of planets within 3 houses, which is a difficult alignment as it is. And part of this is Mercury retrograde right on the edge of Pisces and Aries, an area called the Gandanta, which is considered to be extremely dangerous place for a planet to cross. There's a real uncertainty around communications, around travel, around anything that requires connectivity actually right now. And especially with the solar eclipse coming up, there could be a deep mark on the months and year, perhaps even years to come, because this solar eclipse is actually the traditional new moon that we use to chart the year to come. This is a very important new moon for seeing the karmic trends for the entire year to come. So having an eclipse on a new year, of course, really says that something about the year to come. There's going to be some big changes, particularly for the countries where this solar eclipse is visible, which is the United States, Mexico, and Canada. This solar eclipse is happening in the Vedic nakshatra of Revati. Revati nakshatra, which is a beautiful nakshatra, the very last of all the 27 nakshatras, that falls in the very last degrees of Pisces. Revati has to do with transformative passages from the end of life to a new beginning. And it's a star that promises protection and refuge for souls that are in between. It also has a connection to wealth and waterways and passageways. Revati is in the sidereal sign of Pisces, although I know it's in Aries in Western astrology, the solar eclipse. Actually, according to the Vedic zodiac, it's still in Pisces. And it is a sign that there is a big effect on the water element, actually, in this solar eclipse, which includes the oceans, the health of the oceans. And along with this Mercury retrograde on the edge of Pisces and Aries, as I was saying, on the Gandanta, there is something very potentially dangerous about this eclipse. The last time the Mercury went over this Gandanta was a few days ago. In fact, it was just passed over just by 17 seconds before the Baltimore Bridge disaster occurred. So it's definitely affecting the waterways, this Mercury retrograde and solar eclipse energy coming in. And I would caution against going into big crowds or events like the one in Niagara Falls, which is a very water element location. Actually, the Canadian government has already issued state of emergency because there's just going to be an overload of people. Obviously, places like that are not probably an auspicious place to spend the eclipse, just because of particularly the Mercury retrograde influence. But also, it's just generally not considered to be auspicious to look at an eclipse. So it's best to use this eclipse in a way that can be channeled for spiritual growth. Actually, this eclipse can bring huge breakthroughs and healing discoveries. It can, especially because it is in Revati, the last of the nakshatras, really bring in a great deal of spiritual wisdom and a sort of unification of soul. I think there's a lot of healing and bridge building, not breaking, actually possible in the solar eclipse as well. But it has to be started from within through some kind of spiritual practice. Generally, it's auspicious to fast if you can do that, and also to find a place quiet to do mantra practice if that's something you do. I am really excited to be able to offer something I've never offered before. This is a super special opportunity to join in a live Kali Puja being done in Varanasi, India, during the exact hours of the solar eclipse. Arjunath, who is going to be leading the puja, is a fabulous tantric scholar and also pujari, very well trained, initiated in the Kaula tradition. So we are really blessed, really lucky that he's offered to lead us in this very sacred time to do meditation and to do some mantra practice with him, as well as get the benefits of the ritual that he is going to perform for us. Arjun will be invoking the goddess Kali, who is the ultimate remedy for solar eclipses. She is the one who can devour the shadow itself and bring in the light of understanding. The solar eclipse is also kicking off the 9 nights of the Chaitra, the springtime Navaratri. Well, that's really auspicious too, because it's the perfect remedy for this eclipse. So if you're not already part of the cauldron, as if you didn't do it last fall in October, I have reopened the registration. You can join now, again, for a limited time. And for a limited time, if you want, you can bundle this Kali Puja with the cauldron for a discounted price. So you can do all of it together. It really works together very well in this time of the eclipses and moving forward into this Navaratri when the power of the goddess grows. So if you'd like to use this solar eclipse as an opportunity to bring in protection in your life, maybe from the effects of the solar eclipse, or to create prayers for someone else in your life or for the world at large, which really needs our prayers. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I think, to do some serious tantric practice with a practitioner who can help us safely move through the rituals and the mantras. Also, I will be introducing that Kali Puja live event with a short synopsis of the Vedic New Year and the meaning of the solar eclipse for the United States and possibly some other countries as well. So do check it out if you're interested, and let's see what the tarot cards have to say about this very powerful and transformative historical solar eclipse in Revati. Okay, so the first card that came in, this is the Temperance card. It's called Art in this deck. It's really a kind of like a cooking energy, something getting processed through, something needing attention. You know, a puja is literally kind of like that. It's like a cooking. Arjuna is going to be using a fire pit, like it's a fire ceremony, and he's going to be throwing offerings into that fire. You can see like she's doing. Mixing elements together and offering them to the goddess. And it does require concentration. It does require some patience and careful measuring of time and of amount. So, yeah, there's something there about, with the proper care, this eclipse energy can be a very positive outcome. I think here the Queen of Cups, that water element I was talking about, the Pisces, Revati energy there, the last of the nakshatras, the final Shakti of the moon. She transits through beyond into another world. So much mystery in this nakshatra. And the power of the Divine Mother really is there. Revati is a star of Lakshmi, a star of wealth and nourishment. Here's the card of wealth and nourishment here. So, yeah, there's something there about the nourishment is there, the protection is there. It's just a process we're moving through now to reach it. Come to the altar, maybe a candle in your home or the hearth fire in your heart. Or maybe you join me and Arjuna at his fire ceremony by the holy river Ganges. Come with care and attention and patience to cook, to cultivate, to transform the negativities into a rebirth of possibilities, the alchemy of the soul. The goddess Kali Ma resides as the nourishing Divine Mother at the end of time, the end of life, but she is also the giver of new life, safe passage and refuge. She is the great nourisher, who will provide for everything you need. There is plenty on this earth for all of us. There is plenty for all of us to share. Okay, thanks for coming to the In Industry Astrology solar eclipse forecast, and do be sure to check out this upcoming solar eclipse event, live event, straight from the Ganges. It's going to be just on the Ghats, up the steps a bit from the Holy River. Arjun is going to do the live broadcast from there. And check out the Navaratri Cauldron if you haven't already. It does include horoscopes, the solar eclipse horoscopes for Rahu in Pisces and Ketu in Virgo, and also 9 nights of meditation practices, guided meditation practices, and videos about the Navadurga, the 9 forms of Durga. If you haven't joined already, there is a special price for those who attend the Kali Puja. So check it out. And I'm still doing one-on-one readings on Zoom. You can book a reading with me, Tarot and Vedic Astrology. Do get on my newsletter, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook as well.